She arrived not to wave from a balcony, but to work. In the rolling green fields of County Tyrone, Princess Kate rolled up her sleeves, stepped out of a black Range Rover, and walked straight toward an old wooden machine that hadn't been touched by royalty in nearly 80 years. No red carpet. No fanfare. Just the hum of a working farm and the quiet confidence of a future queen who wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty. But what happened next left everyone watching both stunned and oddly moved. They'd come in a royal convoy of SUVs and motorbikes, but when William and Kate finally pulled into the small farmyard, they did so quietly, almost humbly. Out stepped Kate, dressed in relaxed country style, her smile wide and genuine as she reached out to greet farmers Charlie and Helen Mallon and Helen's 93-year-old mother, Margaret. There were no stiff bows or rehearsed speeches. Just laughter, handshakes, and the warmth of two worlds meeting, royalty and rural craftsmanship. But the real surprise came a few minutes later, when the farmers brought the couple inside the barn to see their pride and joy, a creaking piece of history from 1941, the old flax break. The machine looked more like something from a museum than a modern farm tool, a heavy wooden frame with a swinging blade used to crush flax stalks, turning them into the first threads of linen. Charlie Mallon gave a short demonstration, muscles straining as he rhythmically broke the stalks apart. The press expected polite applause, but Kate had another idea. Without hesitation, she stepped forward and asked to try it herself. Laughter rippled through the crowd as she positioned her hands on the handle, concentrating. The blade slammed down with a thud. Then again. And again. Reporters shouted questions while cameras clicked. Kate laughed and kept going, working the flax break like she'd done it all her life. When she finally stepped back, slightly flushed but smiling, Charlie joked, "She did very well, though I've got bigger hands for it." Everyone laughed, but behind that humor was admiration. It was hard work, physical, repetitive, demanding. And she'd done it with enthusiasm, not hesitation. But this visit wasn't just a royal novelty act, it was part of something bigger. The Mallons farm, known as Mallon Linen, has one mission: to rebuild Northern Ireland's lost flax-to-linen industry. Once a global powerhouse, the trade collapsed after the Second World War. Now, Helen and Charlie are trying to bring it back, restoring heritage machinery, growing flax from seed, and producing linen products entirely from field to fabric. It's sustainable, it's local, and it's exactly the kind of cause Kate and William have long championed. As the couple toured the fields, they peppered the farmers with questions, not for show, but genuine curiosity. How long does the flax take to grow? Why did the industry die out? What modern tools could keep it alive again? Observers said Kate matched William question for question, showing not just interest but understanding of the environmental and economic stakes. Prince William, following his father's footsteps, connected the dots immediately. He spoke of heritage, green farming, and the importance of sustainable materials. The conversation turned from history to the future, how to revive the craft without repeating the harsh working conditions of the past. It wasn't a royal lecture. It felt like a brainstorming session among equals. And the farmers noticed. Helen Keyes later said they were really interested in the farming side of things. They asked about scaling it up and the gaps in the process. For a royal visit often judged by headlines and photo ops, this one felt different, human, focused, meaningful. Back at the barn, the team showcased their finished products, purses, fabrics, even doll's hair spun from the same flax Kate had just broken. Weavers, inventors, and artisans gathered around, explaining each stage of the process. Kate listened intently, smiling as children waved from behind the displays. Afterward, Helen laughed about the day. "There's been a little bit of hiding," she said, tidying in local slang, "but we thought it was important just to be ourselves." And that's exactly what they were. A small team with a big dream, now forever linked to a royal moment that put them, and their craft, back on the map. But for Kate, the meaning might run deeper. Her image has always been that of a modern royal, graceful yet grounded. But moments like this, away from palace walls, show something else, a quiet resilience, an understanding of tradition, and a willingness to get involved beyond ceremony. There was symbolism in that wooden flax break. It wasn't just a machine, it was a bridge between past and present, between hard work and heritage. In a world where royals are often criticized for being out of touch, this moment, simple, physical, and real, said more than 1,000 public statements ever could. As the Range Rover rolled out of the Tyrone farmyard, The laughter of the locals lingered in the air. They'd expected a polite visit. What they got was a princess who took charge of an old machine and gave new life to an old industry. One farmer summed it up perfectly: she did very well. And perhaps that's the story of Kate's royal journey in a nutshell: steady hands, a curious mind, and the courage to keep turning the wheel. So, was this just another royal engagement, or a glimpse into the kind of Queen Kate intends to be? Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more royal moments that make history feel alive again.